Yo, how's it going, guys? It's your boy Richard Unicorn Caller, and boy, do I got a video for y'all. We have a free-to-play healing build for all of you life wizards or just healers in general. Yeah, this is gonna be disgusting, and not in a good way. I mean, my stats. I'm just gonna tell you right now, jump scare. They are terrible. Okay, all I did was look through my backpack butler. I threw on a piece of gear, and I'm just like, hey, we're rocking with it. I mean, I think we even got like low level stuff in here. So buckle up for a very fun and very wacky healing build. As disclaimer, this is not a PvP build. It's not. I wouldn't even recommend it as a PvE build. Definitely wouldn't recommend it as a raid build. I wouldn't recommend this build at all. Cause you guys know me. I'm bougie, and most of my other healing gear is like from packs or bundles or whatever. But yeah, we're gonna lock in because this stuff is gross. It is just gross. It is disgusting. Let's jump right into it. Oh, can't let you see the stats yet. Can't let you see the stats yet. Ah! Anyway, let's start with the hat. We're running the Bold Dream Stalker hood. Now, you know this from the Nightmare Dungeon, so I wish you all luck with that. By the way, I have to mention our rules for the free-to-play healing build. So, rule number one, it can't be a crown item. Even if it can be farmed or crafted, we're not doing a crown item. And absolutely not. This is all stuff you get in game. Absolutely not. No crown items. Okay? Because that defeats the whole purpose of a free-to-play build, right? And obviously, there are crown items that you can technically farm for free, but we're not even doing any of that. Absolutely not. This is going to be gear that you can get, right? Or craft. Anyway, it also can't be from a gauntlet. No gauntlets, okay? Y'all $40 housing gauntlets? Absolutely not. Nope. No gear from that. Next up, no raid gear. The only reason I'm putting no raid gear for this one because I feel like a big chunk of the community doesn't do raid, and as a guild leader myself, I can tell you to not raid. Raid will give you a headache, especially if you're in a really bad guild. But if you do want to join us, invites are always open, man. But yeah, raiding can be a lot. It can be a lot of stress, and a lot of people don't really have much of a, you know, I guess a preference to raid in a sense. What's the word I'm looking for? Just really have the mood to really go raiding. I mean, raiding is fun once in a while, but sometimes it can just get a little exhausting. Anyway, also, the last rule for this is no retired gear whatsoever. So, no, we are not using the Dark Woman's Dagger Athame. Absolutely not, because that is a retired item. Obviously, there is a new version, but the new version sucks. So, we're going to be using something else for that. Anyway, that is the rules. As to write that down, or just as a re-suggestion. Can't be a crown item, can't be from a gauntlet, no raid gear, no retired gear. Okay, let's go on to the hat, which the hat isn't too hard to get. You can craft it, and you can get it from the Nightmare Dungeon. It's not too shabby. Comes with 1,090 health, 10% pip chance, 119 critical block, 14 resist, which is pretty good. 7% life accuracy, 4 pierce, 26 damage. We don't care about any of that stuff though. 17 shadow rating, which is pretty good. For the pins, I have a plus 29% outgoing, so you can also craft that and farm for that as well. And then for the 2 sword pins, you can put whatever you want. I just put Storm in there because it looks cool. This hat also comes with a minus 85 or 80? Yeah, minus 85 fire shield that you can get, which is not so nice in case you needed to, get away from Morg, because we don't like Morg. Morg is a little bit too extreme for us. So anyway, that is the hat. And like I said, you can farm the Nightmare Dungeon or just, the main parts of Wallaroo. In a sense, you can craft this. It is going to take you a little bit, though, because I believe you still do need the badge in order to craft this. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But again, you can get this from the Nightmare Dungeon if you are running that, and I wish you guys luck because that dungeon is a little rough. Alright, let's talk about the robe. And again, we can't use any premium robe whatsoever. So we might as well do a throwback all the way to level 130. One of my favorite content updates in the game, and that is the Dragoon's Vibrant Armor. And honestly, for a free-to-play healing build, this is actually a pretty solid robe to run if you're a life wizard. It comes with 1,647 health, 12% pip chance, 176 critical block, 17 resist, which is pretty decent, 3% life accuracy, tier life pierce, we don't care about that, and also 15% outgoing with 17 shad rating. It's also one of the very few gears that actually had a gear set bonus back in the day. I mean, they don't really do that now because apparently they don't know how to like do gear set bonuses anymore, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, it comes with a pretty unique item card, actually 2 of them. It comes with a plus 30% outgoing for the next 4 rounds, and this is a life aura. Not a life aura, but just an aura in general. So that's going to increase your outgoing by 30%. This is actually a really good, this is actually a really good aura. I'm not gonna lie, like a plus 30%, that's pretty nice. Like, I would run it too if it was a real spell, but the most I've seen is just 25% that you can actually learn. This is an item card, so yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty good. Now, if you're interested in the gear set bonuses, that's what it is. You know, not too shabby, but yeah. Anyway, wait, my bad. These are the gear set bonuses. I apologize for that. So if you had 2 pieces of Dragoon, you get 4% life accuracy, and then at 3 pieces, you get 3 life damage, and then 140 crit or pip conversion. And then at tier 5, you get 12% pip chance. 7, you get a bunch of stuff. So yeah, Dragoon gear isn't really hard to get either. It will take you a little bit to farm for it, of course. It takes a lot of reagents, but it's not too bad once you craft it. It's pretty nice, actually. Now for the boots, we have, again, the Nightmare Dungeon. You're already in the Nightmare Dungeon. You might as well go for the boots. And these boots, again, are not too bad for level 170. 1,411 health, 7% pip chance, 191 critical block, ooh, that's good, and 16 universal resist, 5% life accuracy, 4 pierce, 30 life damage, and 14 shad rating. And of course, we got the plus 29% pins, shield pins that you can get. For the power pins, it's all up to your preference. I just put a death in there because why not? And similar to the hat, it comes with a shield, and this shield is a minus 85 myth shield. So it's not too bad. It's a decent boot to have. Of course, you can use whatever boot you want, but it's pretty nice. I usually always run a shield pin boot and a shield pin hat because you can apply those 29% outgoing healing pins, and that what's really makes the gear good. You can also use the Eternal Boots in case you wanted some critical, but we don't need critical. We're awesome. We're so good. This healing build is so good. Wait until I show you the wand. Yo, are you guys ready for a throwback? Because this wand is pretty sick. Have you ever wanted a wand? Not only does it have outgoing, but have you ever wanted a wand that did a Maycast rebirth? I know. Level 95 Chrysalis wand. You can find this in Chrysalis by the vendor. You can buy the recipe and craft it yourself. But this is a shadow forged wand, and yeah, it's pretty sick, man. 12% outgoing, 1% pip chance, and of course it comes with 2 spells over here. Brilliant Light. You would basically cast this, and this would basically do, you know, the rebirth. Like, that would have a chance at triggering the rebirth, which the rebirth is at a base of 400 and then 300 for the absorb. Pretty neat. I'm not gonna lie. Think about it. You're trying to impress your girl out. I'm telling you, just cast a Brilliant Light. and the rebirth will happen. And guess what? She's gonna be like, whoa, how did you do that? That's so cool. You can impress all your friends with this wand. Like this wand right here, this is gonna get you, man, this is gonna get you places. I can't say it on the thing, you know, I'm PG, but you know, you're gonna go places with this wand, man. Okay? Obviously, there are better wands that you can farm that are crowns, but this is a nice little free to play option in case you really super needed it. But I'm just saying, the Maycast Rebirth gives the money, man. Alright, let's go to the Athame, which of course we're going back to the Nightmare Dungeon again. Actually, I don't even think you have to farm the Nightmare Dungeon for the Athame. I believe you can farm this somewhere else in the Wallaroo range area. But this is also a pretty nice Athame. Now, like I said, we can't use the Dark Woman's Dagger anymore because that is a retired item and not everybody has that, obviously. So we're using another level 170 piece, which is not too bad. It's a pretty decent Athame. It comes with a 1,304 health, 203 max mana, 18% power pip, and then you got some damage, and then 13% outgoing healing. You come with a tier socket. You can put whatever you want in your tier socket. It comes with a circle socket. You can do whatever you want with your circle socket. And then we have a square socket. Now you can either put an outgoing one or a critical blocking one, or you can even do a health one. For me, I did the health one, if I haven't said that already. So yeah, I like to have a lot of health. And then also for the triangle socket, you can do whatever you want, but I put a plus 16% because I know you guys in the previous videos have always said, Richard, why do you just put some random cards in your triangle socket? Like, just put accuracy. So yeah, I put accuracy jewel there. When you make your own healing build, you can put whatever you want in your jewel thing. You can wear whatever you want, but that's what I have because y'all said, hey, if it was me, I would have put like a rebirth card in there just for the lulz, but no, y'all said no, so we don't have that. Anyway, let's go to the amulet, which is in Novus. Now, I will say there are a lot of options for your amulets whenever you're going for like a healing build, and of course you can get them for free, but we're not doing the library gauntlet for that. No. Technically, actually, is that the only 10% amulet that I know of? There might be another 10% that I'm thinking of, but no gauntlets whatsoever. No gauntlet, no crown shops, none of that. You can get this amulet from, not Wallaroo, Novus, right? And it's a pretty decent, it's actually pretty good. It comes with a big, and I mean a big chunk of health, 840 max health, 62 critical block, and then 8% universal resist, which is not that bad, honestly. And then 135 fire pip conversion, because why not? We love random pip conversion. And also plus 203 pip conversion rating for life, which is pretty good. It also comes with 2 square sockets, which of course you can either put health, critical block, or healing. For me, I put health because I didn't feel like farming or shattering these jewels. It also comes with a life dispel spell that you might want. So there you go. Maybe you want to just stop a healer from doing something, or just stop them from doing any type of life spell. There you go. But that's just my amulet. You can do whatever you want, but it's a crafted amulet, and it's completely for free, assuming that you have premium zones unlocked and that you have a membership. Good job. Okay, let's go for the rings. You guys know I had to bring back my boy, Stone of the Other Side. This is a nice, very nice Avalon ring. You can get this anywhere from Avalon. It's really nice. It comes with a little bit of health, like plus 242 and plus 176 mana, 12% power pip chance, and then 15 critical block, 33% outgoing. For the tier socket, we have a spirit jewel, because why not? And then for the circle socket, we have a 3% outgoing, because that's the only That's literally the only like outgoing opal I have. I'm gonna be honest. The 8%, man, I'm trying, y'all. They are really hard to get. Now, you can farm a various amount of bosses through Novus that do drop it. However, the drop rates for them can be a little bit subjective. You might be farming for a little bit, but I will say the Crying Sky raid does drop them a lot. Now, again, we're not talking about raiding. We don't care about raids, but I'm just saying they do drop a lot from there. And then for the square socket, I have a surprise, another health jewel. At this point, we're stacked up on health, baby. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I found this pet and I just said, you know what? We're just gonna run it. Because why not? Of course, we're bringing back the we're bringing back the Dryad, which you can get, which is a exclusive life pet. I mean, only life wizards can have this pet, but you can make this pet whatever you want. I'm just here to show you the talents in the pet cards we have. So we have Spell Proof, Spell Defy, and then we have a Healer, and then we have Medic, which is a 4% and an 8%, and then we have 5% Pip Chance, because why not? And then for the spells, we actually have a lot. It comes with a plus 35 Life Blade. It also comes with a band of Sprite Swarm. It also comes with a band of Hammer Dryad. And then for the jewel, I just put green sleeves because for some reason, I have a lot of these jewels. So I said, might as well make it an emergency type of Dryad spell. 90%, which is not too bad. And Hammer Dryad's also pretty good. I really do like Hammer Dryad. It is such a really good spell, even if you have a bad healing build. It does a base of 800, and you can remove a damage overtime off of all your friends. It is such a good spell. It only takes 7 pips. It's practically almost like a rebirth minus the absorb shield. So I would highly recommend you guys to run a Dryad if you're focusing on just like purely healing. And like I said, you can use whatever pet you want, but this is just one spell I absolutely love. I just cannot recommend it 10 out of 10. It doesn't even have to be the Life Dryad. You can get the Fire Dryad or the Storm Dryad or even the Death Dryad. And if you level it up, it will have this spell card to use. Like you can use that item card. So again, I love it, man. And guess what? For the mount, we can't equip a mount. Like I said, no crown shop items. Not even the Mammoth Mini. Even though you could potentially farm for the Mammoth Mini mount, you cannot, and I mean cannot, use any type of cosmetic mount that takes a lot of money. So, might as well show off and show you the Omen wings that for some reason people have been farming Omen like crazy lately, even though it's been out for years. I really don't know why, but I got the wings to show off because, you know, I'm cool like that. Do you know how many of these I have floating around in my castles? Like I said, I don't know why everybody's been farming Omen lately. I know it drops mastery jewels, but dude, dude, look at these wings. Look at that. That's tight. Anyway, back to where we were at. Let's talk about decks. So this is a Novus deck, and the decks are always subjective to your own flavor. You can run whatever you want. I mean, if you're trying to maximize outgoing, I mean, you've seen it in this build, and you've seen it in my other videos. Like, you can go way better than this. Like, you can go way better than this junk. But yeah, still, it's free to play. And I don't know. There's not really any raid decks that I've seen that are pretty good, but even then, we're not doing raid decks. This is a Novus deck. This is the Eternal Inspirited deck. Max spell 64, max copies 4, max life copies is 6. Sideboard is 36, 188 health, and then you get plus 87 critical block, and then 111 critical, or not critical, power pip conversion thing, or pip conversion. And then a plus 1 starting pip, and then plus 58 arch mastery, which is very nice. For the square socket, we have a plus 8% because we love healing. And then over here for the item card that it has a banned version of Regenerate, which does a base of 420, 420 blaze it, and it does a 1,150 healing overtime for 5 rounds, which is pretty cool. So it's not a bad deck. And like I said, it really depends on your own preference. You can run whatever you want, but personally for me, this is actually a pretty nice deck. I even run this on my main healing set as well, so it's not too bad. Alright, now ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the conclusion of the video where now we show you these disgusting, nasty stats. These stats are going to, again, impress anybody at the function. So bear that in mind. So, let's talk stats. Dude, I gotta go to sleep, dude. I'm so sleepy, dude. I just had a nice bowl of ramen. Okay, the health, pretty good. We got 15,402 health. That is awesome. It's always nice to have a lot of health. And we got plenty of mana to burn, too. 529 mana. We got 0 training points, and we got 243,000 gold. We got 89 crowns and 41 energy. We got 0 blue arena tickets. Why did I tell you that? Because they're not important. Moving on to the damage, 74 life damage, 70 resist, which is actually, not gonna lie, pretty good. If you're anywhere above like 70 or even like 60 resist, it's actually pretty decent. We're starting to kind of get to the age where a lot of enemies and just bosses in general will have a lot of pierce, so the more resist you have, the better, you know. However, you may have to make a little bit of sacrifices, including stuff like your outgoing or health. And again, that's all up to your own preference on what you want to build. But personally, for me, that's pretty cool. Accuracy, we got 31 accuracy for all you people telling me I'm gonna fizzle. So there you go. 31 accuracy and 5 death accuracy, because why not? We love death. And then over here, we got advanced character statistics. Over here, our critical rating is at 44. yeah, you might as well just get rid of that 44 critical jewel that we have and just like slap on an outgoing jewel, because yeah, we're not getting any criticals with this, man. For your block rating, we have at 650 across the board, which is pretty nice. 10 armor piercing, which we don't care about. We have 0 incoming healing, and then we also have 154 outgoing healing, which, not gonna lie, it's not bad. I mean, obviously you guys have seen my other videos. It could be way better. I'm just kind of goofing off right now, but if you really wanted to, you could boost it up way higher, way higher. But remember, if you're doing a free-to-play build, you might be limited on the amount of items that you have. So just keep that as a reference. You know, that includes Jade Gear. No Jade Gear, because that's technically a Crown Shop item. So no Jade Gear. For all you Jade tanks out there. Our pip conversion for fire is 135, which we don't care about fire. But for life, it's at 716, which is quite nice. Our power pip rating is at 104%, so we will never get a fail pip ever. And then our shadow pip rating is at 133, and our arc mastery rating is at 194. Pretty good stuff. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the overall stats. And that is our disgusting build. Now, I haven't done much test runs of it, but I do have a deck setup for you guys. So, our deck setup will basically have, I would say that you can put Pigsy in it, but considering that this is a free-to-play build, we actually cannot put Pigsy on our deck. Even though you can farm Pigsy for free, it's still considered an exclusive spell. Plus, a lot of people surprisingly do not actually have the Pigsy spell in general. There are a lot of people out there that I see y'all in challenge modes and like challenge mode Tartarus or whatever, and like a lot of y'all don't have Pigsy. I mean, I don't know why. The spell has been out in the game for a very long time. I even got the spell before Spellmans were a thing. Were Spellmans a thing? I don't even think Spellmans were a thing when I got it, but I'm just saying, if you don't have Pigsy, that is completely fine, and you should not be upset with yourself. Because we got the next best thing, and that is a unicorn. a free-to-play unicorn. And guess what? My name is Richard Unicorn Caller. It all makes sense. Now you can also put in rebirth, which by the way, you can actually train for rebirth if you didn't know. They put that in an update a while ago. But yeah, you can actually get rebirth. Let's put in another spell like regenerate. You can also get Toilet for free, which is also a nice spell. But if you have the spell fusion for Toilet, this will actually go crazy. So right now I have the bottom path of Toilet right now, which does 1,360 heal over time. It gives you 2 of those ticks, right, for 4 rounds. And then it also can clear a damage overtime, up to 2 damage overtimes, and replace them with healing overtimes, a plus 440 healing overtime. So bottom path Twilight is pretty good if you're going up against a fire or any person that gives you like a dot or a bomb on you. Twilight is not that bad. You're pretty much benefiting off of a dot. Now, if you did have the Spellment fusion of it, or the spell fusion of it, you basically fuse Regenerate and Twilight together, and that will basically do a base of 800, or not 800, 185 healing, and then also give the player 3 healing overtimes that have the value of 2,265 healing for 5 rounds. And I'm not gonna lie, Toilet is busted, and I'm so happy that we got a healing spell in Selenopolis because it really is nice. It really is a nice spell to have. I highly recommend it, especially the bottom path, and it's just really fun to use whatsoever. It's like a buffed up version of Regenerate. I absolutely love it. And then there's also Twilight's Grace, which is more on like the offense side, but you know, we don't care about that. Anything else that you could put into your deck would be like Guiding Light. You could also put that in. Maybe a Dryad just in case your teammate really needs healing. Maybe a Spirit Armor. You can put whatever you want in your deck. Be silly with it. Guardian Spirit, boom. You want to put in Sir Bedivere? Go for it, man. I'm not going to stop you. You want to put in Wings of Fate even though it's terrible? Go for it, man. I will say, though, if you are going to play support, highly recommend Dark Surge. Talk to Velma in the Arcanum. This spell is going to save your life and going to save you a lot of pips, okay? Basically, if you're not using your Shadow Pips, this will convert your Shadow Pip into 2 Power Pips, right? Highly recommend it because it is so good for giving people that extra set of pips. Now, of course, we need to stay healing, so we need to get some outgoing stuff like Cycle of Life. For death spells, you don't need death spells. This is all life. This is all life. What you mean, bro? Put in Scion of Life. You know what? They're never going to come back to the spell. I'm fine with that. Put in Scion of Life. Do it. I dare you. I double dog you. I triple dog. Actually, wait. Aren't Scion Spellments broken? Oh, it's such a bad spell. But we have to commit. We have to commit. By the way, you know, when this spell came out, I don't know, just 11 pips for a heal. I just don't recommend it. So it does a base of 1,480 to a single target, and then it does a 300 healing over time on all of your allies. And then if the recipient is down below 25%, then it does more healing, and then it does a more healing over time to all of your friends. It's you know, I might have to give this spell a chance. I might have to give this spell a chance again. I feel like I should give it a chance. Also, if you're worried about pip flow, I highly recommend Empowerment or Adapt. Preferably Empowerment because a lot of people are usually hitting you with rank 4 and below spells. Attention is also good, just helping people buff up hits. Or if you wanted to get fancy, you can also select a Weaving School. Ooh. You can also do some stuff like Energy Blade or Energy Attenuate. But I usually just run regular Attenuate because that just increases the damage for a target overall. Stun blocks might also help if you need it. And also, the most important thing for a support player, reshuffles. And I still don't know, to this day, why people don't pack reshuffles. I don't know. It's crazy, man. And last but not least, feint, because everybody's always asking for a feint. For our item cards, why not just let it all out, use everything you want, because you're probably not going to use it. Renew, which is again that plus 30 outgoing. And remember, we do have those brilliant lights just in case. Now, I believe the regular brilliant light is like 2 pips? No, it's just 1 pip. So you have to cast the item card version. You can't just like use a regular brilliant light and hope for a May cast. It has to be the item cards. And remember, it's a chance at a May cast. You're not going to get it off all the time. It's a chance. So that is my deck build. And for your treasure cards, you can put whatever you want in it. Go crazy. Go stupid. Go crazy, man. And that is my free to play build. So I'll definitely do a couple team ups in it, maybe even do the Devourer with it, and we'll see how it goes. By the way, the whatchamacallit, the robe that I'm using is the Archangel's Robe. Now technically this is also a cosmetic crown shop item. You can farm for it from Morganth, or at least you did back in the day. I don't know if it still drops from Morganth. Who knows at this point? They're always doing something to the game. But yeah, it's pretty fun. It's a pretty fun build, pretty wacky. And of course, there's always some other better free alternatives. And of course, you can farm for most of this stuff, especially the crown shop stuff. You can definitely farm for some of that. But overall, it's a pretty fun build. Like, I'm not too angry about it. It's cute, it's wacky, it kind of makes me go on the defense a little bit. But, you know, it's pretty fun. So we'll see what happens after a few runs of this, and yeah, let me know what you guys think about that healing build. Now, of course, leave a comment for all your suggestions and opinions about that, because I know you guys have tons of suggestions. So yeah, until then, peace out.